We're in this thing together, and it started, way back when we first started qualifying, and obviously it's carried to where we are now. And with us clinching, the top spot and whatnot, and moving forward, we knew this was going to be a big game for a lot of young players, especially guys like myself and other young players that haven't played a bunch. It's a chance, not only to prove, to the coaching staff that we can play, but to other players in terms of confidence-wise, and say, hey, when our number's called upon, we're ready to help the team.
I've gotten the feeling so far, in training yesterday, it's very hot out here, but I think everybody was putting a lot of effort in to prove, whether they should be on the field tomorrow or prove that they, are rightfully here. Everybody needs games, and when you can get a game with the national team in a World Cup qualifier, you can't ask for a better chance than that to prove yourself. So it's an important game for a lot of guys on this team.
Certainly, I have had experience with the national team before, and a little bit older than most of the guys on the squad already. But I think that's going to be my role in the match is to, whatever it is, to bring experience, to bring that commitment that no matter what happens, we're gonna put in the work.
I think on the field for this game, hopefully I have to be a little bit more of a leader and take a more central role to this game. Try to, really dictate the flow, hopefully through Beasley and myself. I think obviously DeMarcus is a big leader on the field when he plays, just the way, he's not a big talker, but the way he plays, he leads us. And, I think being in the last two qualifiers, I've learned a lot from being around a lot of the veteran guys, and I think coming into this game with a lot more young guys, a lot of guys I'm used to playing with at the Olympic team, it'll be good, and I think I just got to take a more central role in being a little bit more of a leader on the field.
You have to understand your role on a team, and especially as a goalkeeper, because there's only one spot for a goalkeeper on the field. And obviously Timmy's been playing, unbelievably. I think he's made very important saves for our team to secure 3 points, what have you. And so, for a guy like me, being able to train with Timmy every time I get to come in, it's obviously a great experience for me, because I'm able to take away a little each time of what it takes to make it to that level and be at that level on a consistent basis.
I think anytime you get a chance at the national team, you have to prove why you're here and prove that you should stay here. And especially when you've been given a starting position, you really want to keep your starting position. So, I know there's a lot of great central midfielders on this team and in our squad, so it's always a battle, but every day when you go to practice, you got to fight and say, this is my spot, I'm trying to keep it. And when it comes to the games, those are the real testing points.
Whenever you don't play all the time, and you get an opportunity to play, you always want to do something a little extra, right? You always want to stand out a little bit and be able to show that, I should be playing, or I should be starting, or I should be in every time. But I think that this game is going to require something special, something more from each of the people that steps on the field and each of the guys in the 18. But I don't necessarily think it's going to be, if I get the ball, I got to do something a little extra, to prove it for myself. I think it's more going to be like, there's a play that I need to make that 10-yard sprint a little bit harder, or I need to work back for my teammate and do a little bit extra defensively, or work a little bit harder to pick somebody up. I think that's where the extra 10% needs to come from.
Well, it's a process, like you said. I earned my first cap, I think, a year and a half ago, and since then I've been in and out of camps and on the bench, off the bench, things like that. So the thing that's helped me the most is staying positive. I've stuck with the team. I'm just as excited when we win when I'm on the bench or in the stands as I am when I'm on the field. So I'm part of this team. I'm happy to be part of the team, and anything I can do to help secure victories for this team is what I do. And lately I've been in the starting lineup, so it's been just a plus. I've been working my butt off in training, trying to get into the lineup. Now that I'm in that lineup, I really want to stay there, so I'm just working extra hard now.
As a goalkeeper, these are the games you want to play for. You want to play for big games. You want to be involved in big games, and be able to help your team, win and be successful. And so for me, it's just an opportunity to hopefully, not only show the players and my teammates that, hey, I can play and help the team. But obviously, also show the coaching staff that, okay, if something were to happen to Timmy, if we need to call Brad, they're comfortable, with putting me in. And I think that's obviously, a big step. And for me, it's just another chance to play at the international level, and obviously, hopefully help our team become or be successful.
I hope that this is an opportunity that we can learn that, that 10% extra needs to come by having each other's back and doing what it takes to make sure you lift up the other guy and the guy next to you so that we can succeed as a team.